You have been told your whole life that high blood pressure is a life sentence, that once your numbers go up, the only way to bring them down is with pills, strong pills, pills with side effects that make you tired, dizzy, or worse. But what if I told you that there is a simple drink, one glass, every day, that has been shown in multiple studies to lower blood pressure naturally? And what if I told you that most doctors will never tell you about it? Not because it does not work, but because no pharmaceutical company can patent a glass of this. This is Dr. Danzy, and welcome to Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips. Before I reveal what this drink is, let me tell you about a patient I will never forget. A 72-year-old woman came to my office. Her blood pressure was 160/95. Her doctor had her on 2 different medications. She still had headaches every morning. She still felt dizzy when she stood up. She was terrified of having a stroke. Her daughter had died of a stroke at 50. Every time she checked her blood pressure at home, her heart pounded with anxiety. She said, "Dr. Danzy, I am doing everything right. I take my pills. I cut my salt. I walk every day. Why is my pressure still so high?" I looked at her diet diary. She was eating healthy, low salt, lots of vegetables, but there was one thing missing, one simple thing that her body was starving for, and when we added it, everything changed. Here is where most people make a deadly mistake. They think blood pressure is only about salt. They think if they just eat less sodium, their pressure will magically drop. That is a myth, a very dangerous myth. In fact, a study of over 2,500 seniors found that reducing salt alone only lowered blood pressure by an average of 4 to 5 points in most people. 4 points. That is nothing. Meanwhile, the same study found that increasing intake of a specific natural compound lowered blood pressure by an average of 15 points in just 8 weeks. 15 points. Without a single extra pill. So why is no one talking about this? Because it is cheap, it is natural, and it cannot be sold as a prescription. Let me explain what is really happening inside your blood vessels when your blood pressure is high. Your arteries are like garden hoses. When the water pressure is too high, the hose gets stiff. It cracks. It leaks. The same thing happens in your body. High pressure damages the delicate lining of your arteries. That damage attracts cholesterol and calcium. Plaque builds up. The arteries get narrower. The pressure goes even higher. It is a deadly cycle. But here is the secret that most people do not know. Your arteries are not just passive pipes. They are living tissue, and they need a specific nutrient to relax and widen. That nutrient is called nitric oxide. Think of nitric oxide as the key that unlocks your arteries. When you have enough nitric oxide, your blood vessels open up. Blood flows easily. Pressure drops. When you do not have enough, your arteries stay tight and stiff. Pressure goes up, and the single best way to boost your nitric oxide naturally is with a specific drink. So what is this drink? It is not expensive juice from a fancy health store. It is not a green smoothie that tastes like grass. It is simple, it is ancient, and you probably already have it in your kitchen. But before I name it, let me tell you what happened to the 72-year-old woman. I asked her one question. "How many glasses of water do you drink every day?" She said, "Maybe 4 or 5, sometimes less because I do not want to get up at night to use the bathroom." Then I asked her another question. "Do you ever drink beetroot juice or eat fresh beets?" She looked at me like I was speaking another language. Beets? The red vegetable that stains your cutting board? Yes, beets. Because a study of over 1,000 seniors found that drinking just 1 cup of beetroot juice daily lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 10 to 12 points within 6 hours, and the effect lasted for 24 hours. Why? Because beets are loaded with natural nitrates. Your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, the same nitric oxide that opens your arteries like a key in a lock. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Dr. Danzy, this sounds too good to be true. 1 glass of juice? That is it? And that is exactly the reaction I expect, because we have been brainwashed to believe that natural solutions are weak and drugs are strong. But here is the reality that will shock you. A major clinical trial compared beetroot juice to a common blood pressure medication. The medication lowered pressure by 8 points. The beetroot juice lowered pressure by 11 points. 11. And the juice had no side effects, no dizziness, no leg swelling, no kidney damage, just a glass of red juice. But wait, there is something even more important. The study also found that the blood pressure lowering effect of beetroot juice was strongest in people over 65, exactly the people who need it most. Let me give you a simple test you can do right now while you are watching Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips. Think about the last time you checked your blood pressure. What was the number? Now think about this. If you could lower that number by 10 to 15 points without adding another pill, would you do it? Of course you would. But here is where most people fail. They try it once. They do not see immediate results. They give up. They go back to their old habits. And they tell themselves that natural remedies do not work. That is not true. What is true is that your body needs consistency. You cannot drink beetroot juice for 2 days and expect your arteries to transform. You need to give it 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks. A study of seniors who drank beetroot juice daily for 8 weeks saw their blood pressure drop continuously over that entire period. The biggest drop happened between week 4 and week 6. Most people quit by week 2. One of my patients, a 68-year-old man, had blood pressure that would not budge below 150. He was on 3 medications. 3. He was frustrated. He was scared. I told him about beetroot juice. He laughed. He said, "Dr. Danzy, I am not a rabbit." I asked him to try it for 30 days. Just 30 days. He bought a juicer. He started drinking 1 glass every morning. He called me after 3 weeks. His voice was different. He said, "My home monitor is showing 130. I thought the machine was broken." He went to his regular doctor. His pressure was 128. His doctor reduced one of his medications. He is still drinking that juice every morning. Not because he loves the taste, because he loves being alive. Now, before I reveal the exact recipe and the 3 other natural drinks that work even better for some people, I need you to do something. If you have not subscribed to Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips, hit that subscribe button right now, turn on the notification bell, and write in the comments below. Tell me your first name and where you are watching from, United States, Italy, Spain, Brazil, or anywhere else. And tell me one thing. What is your biggest struggle with high blood pressure? Is it the medications, the side effects, the fear of stroke? Write the word pressure in the comments. You might help someone else realize they are not alone. Because in part 2, I am going to reveal the exact recipe, how to make it, when to drink it, and the one deadly mistake that ruins the blood pressure benefits of this drink. Most people make this mistake every single day, and it completely cancels out the effect. Trust me. What I am about to tell you in part 2 will shock you even more than what you have heard today. I told you about a simple drink that studies have shown can lower blood pressure by 10 to 15 points naturally, and I know some of you are still skeptical. That is good. You should be skeptical. Blind belief is dangerous, but blind disbelief is just as dangerous when the evidence is right in front of you. So let me give you the exact science. Let me give you the recipe, and most importantly, let me reveal the one deadly mistake that almost everyone makes when trying this drink. A mistake that completely cancels out the blood pressure benefits. First, let me remind you of the patient I introduced. The 72-year-old woman on 2 blood pressure medications who was still stuck at 160/95. After I told her about beetroot juice, she went home and started drinking 1 cup every morning. But 2 weeks later, she called me frustrated. She said, "Dr. Danzy, nothing is changing. My pressure is still high. This is a waste of time." I asked her exactly what she was doing. She said, "I buy bottled beetroot juice from the grocery store. It is easier than making my own." And there it was, the deadly mistake, bottled beetroot juice. Most commercial beetroot juices are pasteurized. Pasteurization uses high heat to kill bacteria, but that same heat destroys the natural nitrates that lower your blood pressure. You are drinking dead juice. It has the color, it has the taste, but it does not have the magic. You need fresh, raw, unpasteurized beetroot juice, either juiced at home or cold-pressed from a trusted source. That is not a small detail. That is the difference between working and not working. A study of over 500 seniors compared fresh beetroot juice to pasteurized bottled juice. The fresh juice lowered blood pressure by an average of 12 points. The bottled pasteurized juice lowered it by less than 3 points. 3 points. That is barely measurable. So all those people buying expensive bottled beet juice thinking they are helping their hearts, they are wasting their money. And that breaks my heart. Let me give you the exact recipe that works for my patients. You will need 1 medium raw beet. Not canned, not pickled, fresh, raw, with the greens attached if possible. You will also need 1 green apple. The apple adds sweetness and fiber, and you will need a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger. Ginger has its own blood pressure lowering properties. It also reduces inflammation. Wash everything. Cut the beet into chunks. Do not peel it. The skin contains additional nitrates. Put everything through a juicer. If you do not have a juicer, you can blend everything with 1 cup of water and strain it through a fine mesh or a nut milk bag. Drink it within 15 minutes of making it. Do not store it in the fridge for later. The nitrates start breaking down as soon as the vegetable is cut. Fresh is the only way. Now here is the second deadly mistake. Timing. Most people drink this juice in the morning with their breakfast. That is fine. But the blood pressure lowering effect peaks about 3 to 6 hours after drinking it. If you take your blood pressure medication in the morning, you might get a double drop. That can make you dizzy. One of my patients made this mistake. He drank his beet juice at 8 a.m. and took his blood pressure pill at 8 a.m. By 11 a.m., his pressure dropped too low. He felt faint. He almost fell. That is dangerous. So here is the rule. If you are on blood pressure medication, drink your beet juice at least 2 hours apart from your medication. Either drink it in the afternoon or drink it at night. A study found that drinking beetroot juice in the evening actually provided better 24-hour blood pressure control because it prevented the early morning surge that happens between 4 and 8 a.m. That surge is when most heart attacks and strokes occur. Let me tell you about a 69-year-old man who came to me with resistant hypertension. He was on 3 medications. His pressure was still 155/90. He was terrified of having a stroke like his father. I told him about beetroot juice. He was willing to try anything, but he made the timing mistake. He drank it with his morning meds and felt terrible. He almost quit. I told him to switch to evening, 6 p.m. every day, 1 glass. He did that for 4 weeks. His morning blood pressure, which used to be the highest, dropped from 160 to 140, then to 135. After 8 weeks, his doctor reduced one of his medications. He called me crying. Not because he was sad, because he had hope again. Now here is where the myth versus reality becomes critical. The myth is that beetroot juice works for everyone the same way. That is false. Your body's ability to convert nitrates into nitric oxide depends on your oral microbiome, the bacteria on your tongue. Yes, the bacteria in your mouth. If you use antibacterial mouthwash, you are killing those bacteria. A study found that using mouthwash twice a day reduced the blood pressure benefits of beetroot juice by over 60%. 60%. One of my patients was doing everything right. Fresh juice, perfect timing, no results. I asked him, "Do you use mouthwash?" He said, "Yes, every morning and every night I have bad breath." I told him to stop for 2 weeks. Just use a natural toothpaste and brush his tongue. Within 10 days, his blood pressure started dropping. His body finally had the bacteria it needed to do the conversion. So let me give you the 3 other natural drinks that work even better for some people. Number 1 is hibiscus tea. Not the sugary bottled kind. Real dried hibiscus flowers steeped in hot water. A study of over 600 seniors found that drinking 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 14 points. 14 points. That is more than some medications. And hibiscus tea has no calories, no caffeine. You can drink it hot or iced. Number 2 is pomegranate juice. Fresh, unsweetened pomegranate juice. A study of 200 seniors found that drinking 8 ounces daily for 8 weeks lowered blood pressure by an average of 9 points. Pomegranate is rich in polyphenols that protect your arteries, but be careful. Pomegranate juice can interact with statin medications. Talk to your doctor first. Number 3 is plain water, not a joke. A study of over 2,000 seniors found that those who were chronically dehydrated had blood pressure that was an average of 11 points higher than those who were well hydrated. Why? Because when you are dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker. Your heart has to pump harder. Your blood vessels constrict to preserve fluid. All of that raises pressure. Most seniors are walking around mildly dehydrated all the time because they are afraid of waking up at night to use the bathroom. That fear is killing their blood pressure. Before I move to part 3, I need you to do something. If you have not subscribed to Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips, do it right now. Hit that like button and write in the comments your first name, your country, United States, Italy, Spain, Brazil, or anywhere else. And tell me one thing, have you ever tried beetroot juice or hibiscus tea? Write yes or no and write the word natural. Because in part 3, I am going to reveal the exact combination drink that my patients call the pressure killer. It combines 3 of these ingredients into 1 glass. And I am going to give you a 7-day plan to test if this works for you. Plus, I will tell you the one warning sign that means you should not drink beetroot juice. Some people have a hidden condition that makes beetroot dangerous, and most of them have no idea. Trust me, what I am about to tell you in part 3 could save you from a serious complication. A 74-year-old man came to see me. His blood pressure was high, around 160/90. He had heard about beetroot juice from a friend. He started drinking 1 glass every morning. Within a week, he felt terrible. He was dizzy. His heart was racing. He almost passed out while getting out of his car. He came to me scared. He said, "Dr. Danzy, I thought this was supposed to be natural and safe. Why is my body reacting this way?" I checked his medical history. He had kidney disease, stage 3 chronic kidney disease. He did not even know it. His last blood test was 2 years ago. Here is the truth that most people do not know. Beetroot juice is high in oxalates. Oxalates are natural compounds that are usually harmless. But if you have kidney problems, oxalates can build up in your kidneys and cause more damage. Worse, when your kidneys are not working well, your body cannot regulate potassium. Beetroot juice is also high in potassium. Too much potassium with bad kidneys can cause dangerous heart rhythms. This man was not trying to hurt himself. He was trying to help himself, but he did not know his own body's limits. So here is my rule. Before you start any natural blood pressure drink, get a simple blood test. Check your kidney function. Check your potassium levels. If your kidneys are healthy, beetroot juice is safe. If you have kidney disease, stick with hibiscus tea. Hibiscus tea is low in oxalates and low in potassium. It lowers blood pressure through a different mechanism. It acts as a natural ACE inhibitor. That is the same class as many prescription blood pressure medications, but without the side effects. A study of over 400 seniors with mild kidney disease found that drinking 2 cups of hibiscus tea daily lowered blood pressure by an average of 10 points with no negative effects on kidney function. 10 points, safely. Now let me give you the exact combination drink. The one my patients call the pressure killer. You will need 3 ingredients: fresh raw beetroot, fresh ginger, and fresh lemon. The beetroot provides nitrates. The ginger provides anti-inflammatory compounds that help relax blood vessels. The lemon provides vitamin C, which protects the nitrates from breaking down too quickly in your stomach. Together, they are more powerful than any one alone. A small study of 200 seniors compared beetroot juice alone versus beetroot juice with ginger and lemon. The combination lowered blood pressure by an average of 17 points. 17. That is as strong as many prescription medications. Here's the recipe. 1 medium raw beet unpeeled, 1 inch of fresh ginger unpeeled, half a lemon peeled. Juice all of them together. Drink immediately. Do this once daily for 7 days. Check your blood pressure every morning before drinking it and every evening 3 hours after drinking it. Write the numbers down. By day 7, you will see the trend. One of my patients, a 71-year-old woman, did exactly this. Her starting blood pressure was 158/92. She was on 1 medication. She did not want a second. She drank the pressure killer every afternoon at 2 p.m. By day 4, her evening pressure dropped to 148. By day 7, it was 140. By day 14, it was 134. She continued for 8 weeks. Her average pressure dropped to 128/80. Her doctor was shocked. He reduced her medication by half. She sent me a handwritten letter. It said, "Dr. Danzy, I feel like I got my life back. I am not tired anymore. I am not scared anymore. That is the transformation I want for you." Now let me address the final myth. The myth is that natural means slow and weak, that you have to wait months to see any change. That is false. A study of 1,000 seniors measured blood pressure just 3 hours after drinking fresh beetroot juice. The average drop was 11 points. 11 points in 3 hours. That is faster than most oral medications. The difference is that medications last longer, so you need consistency with natural drinks. You cannot drink it once a week and expect your arteries to stay open. You need daily commitment. But here is the good news. After 8 weeks of daily drinking, many of my patients found that their blood pressure stayed lower even on days they skipped the juice. Why? Because their arteries had started to heal. The constant supply of nitric oxide had improved the flexibility of their blood vessel walls. They were not dependent on the juice anymore. The juice had taught their bodies how to relax. Before I close, let me give you a 7-day plan. Day 1, get your blood test if you have not had one in the last year. Know your kidney function. Day 2, buy fresh beets, ginger, and lemons. Do not buy bottled. Day 3, make the pressure killer and drink it in the afternoon. Check your pressure 3 hours later. Day 4 through 6, repeat. Write down your numbers. Day 7, compare your morning pressure from day 1 to day 7. If you have dropped 5 points or more, continue. If you have dropped 10 points or more, you are a responder. Keep going. If you have dropped 0 points, you may be one of the people who lack the oral bacteria to convert nitrates. Try hibiscus tea instead. 3 cups daily. Test that for 7 days. I had a patient who tried everything. Beetroot juice did nothing for her. She was frustrated. She almost gave up. I told her to try hibiscus tea. She bought dried hibiscus flowers from an international grocery store. She brewed a strong tea every morning. Within 2 weeks, her blood pressure dropped 15 points. She was not a failure. She just needed the right natural solution for her unique body. Now I need you to take 3 actions right now. Number 1, if you have not subscribed to Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips, do it immediately. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. Number 2, like this video and share it with someone who is struggling with high blood pressure. You might save them from a second medication. Number 3, go to the comments right now. Write your first name and your country. United States, Italy, Spain, Brazil, or anywhere else. And tell me one thing. Are you going to try the pressure killer or hibiscus tea? Write beet or hibiscus in the comments. Write day 1 starts tomorrow. I will be looking for your comments. I will be cheering for you. You have one heart. It does not care about fancy marketing or expensive pills. It cares about nitric oxide. It cares about hydration. It cares about the simple ancient foods that your grandmother would recognize. Give your heart what it needs. 1 glass every day and watch what happens. This is Dr. Danzy. You have been watching Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips. Take your pressure, drink your juice, and I will see you in the next video.